I'm Jane Miller Henderson. My family and I began attending St. Mark's in 1955. I was 5 years old at the time. We came here, my father had just recently been transferred from San Francisco to the Sacramento office of the FBI. We came to St. Mark's because I think it was the only church in the area. I don't know if we found a home near here because the church was here, or we went to the church because our home was near to it, but we just into Carmichael, and I still live in the family home, and it's very close located. That's why we came here. It was all there was, I believe, except for downtown. I think helping other people has always been the most important thing to me. Here at St. Mark's, we have several organizations still who reach out to basically our immediate community. We have a group that works with refugees, and we're hoping to get started up again now that we have the Afghanis coming in. We have a food closet for homeless or anyone who is in need of food. We have our Mercy Peddlers who go out onto the street and work with the homeless. And we have a community breakfast, and we have just recently, within the last couple of months, been able to actually have a sit down, invite people in, have them come in and sit down. Not everyone has rediscovered us since opening back up after the pandemic, but we do serve a lot of people. Loaves and Fishes, which is basically a soup kitchen downtown that we work at serving the homeless down there. Those kinds of things I'm the most proud of, and really get me going, working with other people who need things more than I do.
My name is Shirley Finster, and we moved from Weaverville down to Sacramento in 1956 when I was 7 years old, so we're close to them. And this was the only church in the area, I believe, that was Methodist. And I'm really grateful that it was here, because my parents are more conservative than this church is, and I think the church helped them on their way to liberation. The thing that I love so much about this church is that no matter what level of participation or how frequently you come, you're just always part of the family. You never feel tangential, and I'm amazed at that, and amazed at how they continue to ask for people to give, either of their self or their money or their resources, and the people just keep giving. We were at this has been, oh gosh, I guess it was before the COVID, when we all did that protest. Were you there at Miraloma? And there was, I think there were 3 ministers there at the time. There was Alan and Fado, Don Fado, and there was a third one. But coming out at 7:30 in the morning, because Fred Phelps, our friendly guy that tried to protest, or that protested the gay marriage, he had heard that they had a very thriving LGBTQ club at Miraloma, and so he was outraged, and he brought his little band of hate mongers. A bunch of us showed up. A lot of us showed up to support them. Yes. And I was just so impressed how many people would come out at 7:30 in the morning. So it doesn't matter. Anything that comes up and they ask for a response from this congregation, they always get it. And that impresses me so much that nobody ever says enough. I've given enough. People just keep on giving and keep on giving, and they keep on asking. And I just am so appreciative of that.
Well, and I really appreciate Alan, who really pushes us to walk the walk.
Yes.
And do something rather than talk the talk. So he's been a very good influence on all of us.
Absolutely.
My name is Loretta Juan White, or Lori White at this point. We came here in 1961. I came from Paradise, where my dad was the superintendent, and he decided to come down here to the Department of Education. So we lived in Arden Park, so it was close enough, and St. Mark's was the closest one, and I could even almost walk, and I did. So anyway, we came here in 61, and I was, I think I was 12, so it was between 6th and 7th grade. I really appreciate the United Methodist Women and all the things that we have done. As I say, all of our fundraisers and our big fundraiser once a year, which of course we haven't been able to do right now, but all of that money that we've ever raised has all gone to all over the world. United Methodist Women is the largest women's organization in the world, and we are helping a lot of different places, and oftentimes they'll tell us about a mission or one of the things that we're working on, and they have a wonderful magazine, The Response, that shares what we have done, and I'm very proud of what United Methodist Women have done.
And I'm Pat Aldrich Visagli, and we came to St. Mark's, I believe, in 1958. I'm not positive on that, but we lived in Oroville. My dad worked on the Oroville hydro plant before they built the dam. And we moved to Carmichael, and both my parents are Methodist, Stan and Nancy Aldrich. I was going to first and second grade. I don't know how they picked it, but other than we lived in Carmichael, so I'm probably was the closest Methodist church, and I've been part of this church forever. I just love St. Mark's because it's home. It just, just always feel comfortable here. I've done different things. Right now I don't seem to be doing too much because I seem to be doing the dogs a lot, but I've been on different chairs and done different things over the years. Oh, I did that nursery school, or my big claim to fame is doing the basement in the education building. We had a basement where I grew up in, and so I knew the value of a basement. That's where we had our ping pong table and Dad's tools, and the washer and dryer were down there. So when they talked about putting a basement in the education building, many people didn't want to do it, and I remember going to the council meeting and say, a basement is so important. I think at the time it was like $100,000, so it was like 10% of the cost of the building, and I thought, that's nothing. Basements are so important.
I'm Joanne Ballard. My husband Ray and I came to the Carmichael area in 1958, newlywed sort of, with no children. Visited St. Mark's, which was meeting across the way. Visited downtown, where they captured us to be the MYF leaders. So 2 children and 5 years there, we decided we needed to be someplace closer to home for our children to become more involved. So Dave McBurdo had been trying for years to get us to come here, which we subsequently did. And 3 children later, and all these many years later, I'm still here. The connection, and you each mention all these things over the years, and it brings back so many memories. And for me, it's the people, the connection, it's the service, it's what we do, and it's part of who I am.